Hello students, welcome to the next video of water treatment. We are revising our unit number 1 of water treatment. In previous videos, we have learned one of the important quality parameter of water, that is hardness. How hardness is formed to water, what are its types, and how experimentally hardness is determined using EDTA method. As hard water is problematic to domestic as well as industrial level, we have also learned how to make this water soft. In that, we have seen there are 3 processes. Out of that, first process we have learned zeolite process. In zeolite process, we can remove only cation part of the salt. That is, if calcium sulfate is the salt causing hardness, then we can remove only calcium. But anion part, that is sulfate part, remains in water, and that's why acidity of water increases. Hence, a modified process is developed, that is ion exchange process. In this, ion exchange resins are used. These are a white granular powder having cross-linked high molecular weight organic polymer structure. They contain specific functional groups attached to the chains which are responsible for the ion exchange properties. There are 2 types of resin powders we have to use. First, cation exchange resin to remove cation part of the salt causing hardness. The structure of a sample cation exchange resin is shown here. Commercially, these are available as Umberlite IR 120, Dovex 50, etc. These contain acidic functional groups like sulfonic, carboxylic, or phenolic OH group. When these contents in our plant, and when water containing hardness causing salts come in contact with these resins, for example, if you take the general formula of cation exchange resin as RSO3H, then cation part, here for example calcium ion, get replaced by H ion of sulfonic acid, and we get RSO3 twice Ca, where Ca is get removed in the cation exchange resin. Then there is one more resin is used, that is anion exchange resin, in which basic functional groups like OH, amino, or quaternary ammonium are present. If you take an example, general formula as a ROH, which contains OH as a basic functional groups, and the anion of the hardness causing salt Here, for example, SO4 minus minus get replaced with OH minus of the anion exchange resin, and we get R2SO4, means anion part get removed from the water. Commercially available anion exchange resin as Umberlite 400, Dovex 3, etc. So the plant of this ion exchange process contains mainly two chambers. One is cation exchange resin containing chamber, which can be named as a cation exchanger, and another anion exchanger. At the center, this resin is filled. Cation exchanger contains cation exchange resin and anion exchanger contains anion exchange resin. The hard water is passed from this inlet and it will come in contact with the resin. The salts present in the hard water and the resin as shown in the reaction here, RSO3H, suppose calcium sulfate as a salt, the reaction takes place and replacement of this calcium and proton hydrogen ion of the resin takes place and the cation get removed. Similarly, when the cation get removed, the water containing H2SO4 comes out from this cation exchanger and it is passed now in the anion exchanger. Now in that water, H2SO4 means anion part SO4 from the calcium sulfate is still present, and that we have to remove using anion exchange resin. When that SO4 come in contact with this anion exchange resin, that is ROH, there is a replacement of these two anions, SO4 of the salt and OH of the resin, and this SO4 get removed and we will get a demineralized water, only H2O comes out from the anion exchange resin. The further treatment can be made. This demineralized H2O can be passed in another container called a degasifier. This degasifier is covered with a steam jacket and the water is circulated in this chamber so that some dissolved gases, if present, can be removed. So the gases like carbon dioxide can be removed from this outlet, and this purified completely soft water we can take out from this outlet at the bottom. Then after some time, the capacity of these chambers, cation exchanger and anion exchanger, for softening is decreased, because every molecule of cation exchange resin and anion exchange resin get converted into RSO3 twice Ca and RSO3 twice Ca and R2SO4. And after some time, if we pass hard water, then further exchange will not take place. That's why those resins are said to be exhausted, which cannot be used further for the softening purpose, because all the resins are get converted into cation exchange resins are converted into RSO3 twice Ca, and anion exchange resins are converted into R2SO4. Now, what we have to do? Can we replace this resin? No, it is costly. Therefore, we can regenerate these resins. So once the softening is stopped, we will stop the supply of hard water, and then we will pass dilute HCl. We will pass dilute HCl from this inlet. Okay, from this inlet we will pass dilute HCl, and in anion exchanger we will pass dilute NaOH from this inlet. What will happen when we pass these acid and base? When we pass HCl, the H of the HCl will get replaced Ca of the exhausted cation exchange resin. Means there is a reverse exchange. There is a reverse exchange, and we will get RSO3H once again, which is known as a regenerated resin. And a small amount of the calcium chloride comes out, which can be thrown from the bottom. Similarly, in the anion exchanger, the exhausted anion exchanger resin can be regenerated by passing NaOH. So OH of this NaOH and SO4, there is a reverse exchange once again, and we will get regenerated resin as a ROH. A small quantity of sodium sulfate Na2SO4 can be thrown away as a washing from the bottom. So like this, same resins, cation exchange resin and anion exchange resin, after regeneration we can use again and again. Therefore, we can get the main advantage of this process is we can remove cation as well as anion part of the hardness causing salt, and that's why we will get almost water of zero hardness. And the process can be used to soften highly acidic or alkaline water also. But the capital cost of this process is high, since chemicals and equipment both are costly. If water contains turbidity, then the efficiency of this process is reduced, because the particles, the solid particles present in the water may clog the pores of the resin, and the percolation will not take place. Like this, after zeolite process, this is the modified process called ion exchange resin ion exchange process for the softening of hard water. In the next video, we will revise the third process, that is lime soda process. Thank you.